Hi everyone, Nina here. Everyone has their favorite heroes in Battlegrounds, but there are heroes that most players hate. And in this video, I want to showcase some of the worst heroes in the game and talk about how they can be improved. Category 1 of bad heroes. Heroes that give you stats in exchange for gold. Heroes that fall into this category are Cthulhu, Pyramid, Rakanishu, Cariel Rome, Guff Rune Totem, and Queen Wagtoggle. These heroes are boring to play because you're basically playing a button mash simulator. Buy minions and press buttons every turn. The scaling is usually only relevant early game and it falls off really quickly from mid game onwards. I would rather use the extra 1 or 2 gold for economy because most of the time minions I buy early game are not going to end up on my final board, and it's really not worth investing the gold to buff those minions just to lose to a real comp later on. Compare these heroes with heroes like Yoxaron, Zarella or Mutinous, who provide extra stats and economy. Granted, to Yoxaron and Mutinous, there's an element of RNG, but the same can be said about every bad hero I mentioned above, except Rakanishu, whose hero power is targeted. The worst hero that has remained unchanged, despite the immense power creep that has happened in Battlegrounds, is Pyramid. Pyramid still has the exact same design as the day Battlegrounds was released in November 2019. Give a random friendly minion plus for health for 1 gold. This hero power is so bad that even making it targeted wouldn't fix it for high MMR players. Because again, unless you're buffing a Trickster or a Weaver, the stats on low tier minions are not going to matter late game. Pyramid might become playable if the hero power was targeted, cost 0 gold, and if the amount of health it gave grew every turn, kinda like Sourfang. If you want to win with these stats for gold heroes, then you have to get insanely lucky and just mostly ignore a hero power from mid game. You have to hope that you hit something that's actually competitive late game, or just play for top 4 and hope for a viable hero next game. I'm not sure how I would fix these heroes without fundamentally changing the whole stats for gold concept. It's something the game designers might or might not want to address, because button mashing is still a relatively easy way to play for newer and more casual players. Category 2 of bad heroes. These are the heroes that were introduced during the buddy meta and whose entire hero powers were designed around their buddies. I'm looking at Brukan, Onyxia Rokara, Tavish Stormpike, and especially Drektar and Vandar Stormpike. The last two are already awful in the buddy meta, but they've seen become absolutely slug tier. That is 1 below trash tier, by the way. I'm actually quite surprised that these heroes remained unchanged when buddies were removed from Battlegrounds. This tells me that maybe the buddies will come back in the future, kind of like Dark Moon prizes. I can understand not changing them for that reason, although even with the buddies in, Drektar and Vandar were absolutely unplayable. It would have made sense to remove them until the buddies came back instead of diluting their already lackluster pool of heroes. If one of the players in the lobby is playing Vandar and another one playing Shudder or Maiev, then it honestly feels like they're playing completely different games. The Vandar player just has to hope that they don't face Shudder or Maiev on their spike turns, and hope and pray that the matchup and combat RNG is good enough to carry them to top 4. At higher MMR levels, where getting a top 4 can lose you MMR, playing one of these slug-tiered heroes can feel like a complete waste of time. My solution for improving these heroes is to remove them from the game until buddies are back, but hopefully only for a short amount of time, and to completely rework Vandar and Drektar. Category 3 of bad heroes. These are the heroes that force you to play a particular tribe and can feel absolutely awful if you don't hit that tribe. Heroes that fall into this category are Shinvala, Flurgle after the most recent change, Maleficent Mana Storm, the Rat King, Jaraxxus, and to a certain extent, Illidan. Flurgle used to be one of the best heroes in the game until the most recent change, and now he's completely unplayable. Shinvala actually felt pretty good during the buddy meta because once you got your buddy, you were guaranteed to find elementals, but now he's back to being a slot machine simulator. Find elementals, here's 15 extra gold you would have otherwise used for leveling. Don't find elementals, die in 8th noob. I really wish Rat King was more playable because of the new adorable skin, but he remains one of the worst heroes in the game. One of the ones that might give you extra stats early game if you're lucky, and is completely useless from mid game to late game. Illidan had his glory days when buddies were first introduced, but now it's back to being trash tier, only useful if you're playing a build where going first is essential, like a Beast, Leaper, or Pirate Exodia comp, or if you're playing against one. These heroes are the ones I rarely pick, but I don't mind them staying in the game because they perform relatively well for lower MMR players. Having a clear game plan helps guide newer players to a build rather than just picking random cards that have no synergy with each other. I do know that if these heroes were removed from the game, very few high MMR players would miss them. Category 4 of bad heroes is Shudderwock. Imagine this. It's 8 gold. If you're playing standard curve, you're seeing your first tier 3 shops. You're trying to make something happen with your cute little green thumb, with maybe a cheeky little arm of Empire. And then you look over to see who you're facing, and it's Shudderwock on tier 5 who has 3 triples into 6 drops. It doesn't feel good, does it? Almost every single high MMR lobby that has Shudderwock and Beasts in it ends up feeling like this. It's like a sick and twisted version of Russian roulette to see who is the poor little loser who gets to face Shudder on their spike turn, because it doesn't matter what you do, girl, you're taking 15. I honestly don't know how Shudder can be balanced without making him completely trash, but he cannot remain untouched in his current state. Finally, I want to mention heroes who didn't fit into any of the above categories, but are either just too weak or too boring to play. Heroes like Kael'thas, Mokla, Kurtrus, and Zolf depend too much on the tribes that are in the game, but them being offered does not depend on the tribes. Being offered Zolf with Max and Beast banned can happen, and it basically means that you're given 3 hero power choices instead of 4. Of course, I can't make this video without mentioning Patchwork, who is an incredible boring hero to play, with hero power that doesn't give you that much of an advantage against others, especially with the armor system in place. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what heroes you think should be reworked or removed in Battlegrounds. And are there any heroes you hate that I missed? As always, I would really appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!